2 years ago, my uncle passed away a month after I had gotten back home for my first ever book tour. I drove across the country and visited a number of bookstores. It was a really good experience. But I remember as I was standing in the hospital, we had just heard it was in the final moments of my uncle's life. I, I'll never forget that I felt sort of guilty. Like I felt like I was being so selfish because I had taken time to sort of like follow my dreams whenever I could have stayed home and spent more time with him. Realistically, I don't know if I would have, because like we had been growing apart for a number of years then, and he wasn't wildly sick. Like he was getting by as far as I could tell. So what I have sort of learned through this process, because for the record, not that I'm trying to compete with grief here, but a few months later, his wife, my aunt, also passed away. And what I have sort of learned about grief in this time is that it's complicated and people experience it in different ways. And a lot of times it doesn't even make sense. A lot of times the things you're feeling are things that don't always make logical sense that you feel that way, but that is still grief and that is still something that you're experiencing. And that is why I've decided to work together with a number of my author friends to put together a short story collection about loss. I got a lot of help from media that involved loss, whether it was books or short stories or movies or TV shows, and being able to add a collection to the world for people that are going through things that I went through over the past couple of years, I think could be a lot of help for other people. So, creating a collection that might be able to help other people go through the kind of things that I went through might be really fulfilling and something that could maybe let me get something out of sort of like this tragedy that I had to go through. So like I said, I have a bunch of great authors lined up for this. I'll tag them in this video, anybody that is sort of confirmed, just so you can kind of get a sense of who's part of it. Guys, it's a lot of really, really great authors. Like, don't be worried. It's going to be a really good collection. But I wanted to make this video because I want to go ahead and open this up to other people. Because, like I've met a lot of great authors through my podcast, Ghostwriters Are Fans, but I think that there might be some other great authors out there, some other great writers that haven't been discovered yet. And I'd love to have the chance to maybe showcase their work to the world in a collection like this. And you can be in a book alongside some other great authors. Again, their names are tagged. So if you are a writer and you would like to write a story about loss, and, I'm using that very broadly, like it's a one-word prompt, loss. You can decide what that means to you and for your story. But once you figure out what you want to write about, if you want to write about it, if you want to submit it to me, it's 1,500 to 4,000 words. Just send the stories to my publishing company, Starlight King Press. So the email address is press@starlightkingpress.com. And just send that to me with your contact info, your name, that kind of stuff. All the things you do if you're submitting to a publication. This is my first go with this, so go easy on me. But I would love to get some really great stories. I'm looking forward to reading some really great stories. Now, there won't be any pay for this. I will be donating any proceeds I make to charity. I haven't sort of figured out exactly what I'm doing yet as far as charity is concerned. What I would ideally like to do is donate directly to Palestinian families. I've seen some other content creators do that. If you know how to do that, feel free to shoot me a message or a DM. I'd love some help figuring out how exactly to do that. And if not, like, it will be to some other great charity, and we will agree. We, as the authors involved, will agree that it's something that we're all comfortable with donating to. But I think it's a cool opportunity. I think it's a cool opportunity to get published, to be selected by a publisher, to be published, and to have your name alongside a bunch of other great authors. And I have some other plans about like promotional stuff where you might be able to like work with some of these other authors. They don't even know about it yet. So it's all a surprise, but I think that they're going to be pretty open to it. But I think it's a cool opportunity to kind of like work with some other authors and get your name and start networking with people in the field and, get published, all those things, all the things that I think could help you in your career. But yeah, if you're interested, shoot an email with your story to press@starlightkingpress.com. I look forward to sort of like giving you guys more information about this as it comes. We're in the early stages. Like I've just got committals from people and they're working on their stories right now. So all of this is very early. All of this is very new, but I think it's going to be pretty exciting. And I'm excited to sort of take you guys on this journey with me.